Hi everybody, can you believe it? March is almost around. So I guess you're getting ready for the spring or the fall, depending on which corner of this planet you are. And guys, if you wanted to get your annual scope and you forgot it, right now it's a great time. They're right now on sale. So you're getting one sign for 10 bucks and all signs for 20. So you can check somebody else, or you can check your ascendant and Venus sign and Mars sign. So this is a great opportunity. But the best part of my special is my speed up promotion. So you are not waiting 3 weeks anymore for the readings. So I'm actually upgrading whatever the term was before. So 3 weeks is now 1 week. So becoming a rush reading. And the rush reading, which was week, is now 3 days. And if you really want an urgent reading, you're going to get it within 24 hours. And if you're North America, most likely the same day. So guys, check my website www.cattarot.ca for more information. You can also find me on Instagram and on Facebook, where I actually also publish daily taroscopes. So let's jump in. Hi Libras, and welcome to monthly forecast. And my apologies, I do have ink on my fingers, so it's going to take some time to remove it. So let's see, the bottom of the deck you have Sky King. That kind of like would be you, because this card also represents Libra, but being reversed is definitely talking about things being in balance and maybe people getting on your bad side. And maybe you're going to need extreme strength and effort this month to maintain this equilibrium, to kind of really not allow that lower part of you to kind of like come out. So let's see, what is in the core? Oh boy, Three of C. What's going on this month? Three of C is basically usually the celebration card if it is the upright card, right? When it is reversed, it's telling me maybe you're not friendly, or you don't want a company, or it could mean many things. But let's see when we get more cards. What's crossing you? Boy, the Lovers reversed. Did you go through a recent breakup, or are you planning to leave someone? At this stage, this is also possibly telling me that that's kind of some kind of choice. Maybe somebody had other opportunities to choose from, and this is kind of like heavily affecting you. Let's see what is the base. Four of C. Oh boy, how often does this happen, that a kitty cat is not paying attention to the lobsters, and this should focus in, but it isn't. It's okay, sorry guys, let me give it a try again. So my autofocus doesn't work all of a sudden. So it does work when I don't want it to work, and vice versa. So sorry about that. So this being reversed talks about even disgust, I would say, over something, lethargy, not engaging life, not kind of like maybe even feeling that everything is lost, that the opportunities are not there that you were hoping for. And hence you kind of like, look at that face. That's why I really wanted to show you, and this doesn't want to focus from me. I want to try this, I want to try to force it to happen. So let's see, and that doesn't work either. There you go, look at that face. It's sad, it's oh gosh, whatever kind of a thing, kind of not really engaging life, right? So Let's see what is this all about. It definitely looks like relationship. This is all highly emotionally charged, Libra. And 7 of C, it's just not long ago you kind of like felt you had a whole bunch of opportunities, and every single one that you grasp and touched, it just like went puff, right? And just like this refill kind of like exploded in my hand. These bubbles are exploding in a kitty cat's hand. So each of them kind of looks like the little world, and it is kind of sad because you guys on their sign, it means you're a big dreamer. It means you can simply visualize in your head where you're going, and you're not finding a big surprise when you get there. For you, it's not so much about the journey as much as it is about, I want this journey to be comfortable, and I'm getting there. And like when you want a hotel that is like with air conditioning and satin sheets, if you get something else, you're not going to be very happy. You kind of like don't really have that happen to you unless you really didn't plan it properly. So here it tells me that maybe there were lots of different ideas on the table. So what is crowning you? That's 9 of Sky. So there are anxieties, there are issues, there are like lots of things going through your head. Sort of like I see this card as what if scenario, when you know you go and regurgitate situation. If I just did that, or why didn't she do that, or why didn't he do that? These are actually situations that we know we can actually think through, but for some reason we are stuck, you know, like the old record player, it just like gets stuck and starts skipping. So it's sometimes spinning the same thing over and over, but keep in mind that you're not spinning in the spot, that it kind of like it spirals down. I'm actually really seeing a lots of downward energy over here, and I'm really sorry to say that, Libra. So let's see what is in the near future. Seeking. Okay, you might be healing because we had this like Sky King, you and the Strength here. You might be immediately healing this pain with simply introducing a new person in your life, trying to kind of sanitize the problem. This also could be the person who is in your life that you're like referring to, who is painting this beautiful dream. And I just told you, like for you the dream is the destination as well, not just the journey. So this person is painting the destination for you, and you're saying fine, sold. There is an unfortunate part about this person, that this is just imagination for this type of a person. It's like nothing that they want to put down in practice. It's like somebody saying you know how they want to walk on the moon. I mean, if you guys say this to somebody, you really would walk on the moon. You will do the steps to get training, to kind of like find the contacts, to kind of qualify, and to do your best to go there. This person, nope, Fantasyland. So let's see your feelings this month. Well, somebody feels like the good kitty is reversed. So this is also the karma card. So it is a karmic month. Something is coming like home to roost. Maybe there were solutions and options where you had the right choice and the bad choice, and the bad choice has been chosen. So it is definitely calling for accepting responsibility in the matter, and maybe you are. It could be also that you guys were the third party in a situation, and that you kind of like feel guilt and disgust with the same whole situation, and even with yourself. And the Sky King is definitely talking about the harshness about the situation, hence the strength would make sense, that you kind of like really wanted to see, okay, now I have to rebound, I have to kind of like come back on my feet, and I have to go back to this space where I had all these possibilities. Because right now I'm a little bit concerned with this reading that you might simply fall prey to somebody who is just going to be a sweet talker. So just beware of that. Okay, so let's see environment. Oops, somebody new showing up. Earth Kitten, somebody very different from you, somebody nonetheless really interesting, and focus goes outside, and it's a kind of like slow grounding energy, and this is exactly what you guys need. It's really good. And this could be a friend, it could be a co-worker, it could be even a child that is going to kind of like take your thoughts away from, almost looks like emotional turmoil over something that went wrong. So hopes and fears. Ugh, we have Sky Tom. Well, in a sense, this is good. This is somebody, this is a really fast energy. So it looks like you are going to be fed up with being fed up, going to be even fed up with yourself. You know, sometimes I catch myself in the same situation, and my ascendant is Libra. It's just like, oh my gosh, like, I mean, I'm mopping around the whole day. I'm like so tired of mopping around. So simply I give basically myself a bad review. And it looks like you're doing this. You're sort of like coming, very similar energy, right? You're coming to your own space, which what you really do well, Libra, is to mediate. And mediation doesn't mean this person wins or this person wins. It's just like simply translating those two opposing sides and trying to find a solution that somehow jointly they can agree to move forward to. So it's much different than judgment or anything else. So this is a judgment card though, like in the other decks, but here is called Good Kitty. So you are actually going to call your sense of justice, your sense of what is right, what is wrong. So just like, don't swing in a completely different direction that you fall prey to somebody like this. But I think you want, because you're going to get back to, look, first and foremost, you need to know the truth, and you want to go in that direction where, you know, like, I mean, kind of like you really want to know who is who and what is what in this whole situation. So you're not going to really shy away from this too much. So where is this direction possibly going this month? Look at this, the demon cat, but it is reversed. So now we have three bad kitties that are now chasing, and I'll remove this out of focus because it's not helping, that are chasing the birdies. Like one actually birdie just got the short end of the stick. Now the good news about this card when it's reversed is, like, this is the card of codependency. This is a card of somebody, and I'm really afraid, like, I mean, that you might fall into hands of somebody else. The seeking, also be very careful. There could be addiction, and this card also talks about addiction, in particular alcohol. So watch your booze, guys, and watch somebody who is doing this, because simply it can go out of control this month. So this is also a card of codependency, and as I told you, this is a card of somebody promising you anything and everything and painting this picture, but actually never following through. Sort of like even ridiculing you, like, why would you even think that? I just like said so, I didn't mean so, kind of a thing, right? So this is also a card of codependency. Codependency means almost like being addicted to wrong people for you. So when it reverses, it means at least you're getting some understanding who is right and who is wrong, and you sort of like kind of like move in a different direction when you do that. I do have another video, and at the end of this video I'm going to attach the codependency from my other channel, so take a look at it, because it is kind of like a really hard addiction to shake, and looks like you're doing that, and it looks like there is like this really strength of mind. You're almost, I would say, harsh to yourself. I would always say like harsh to yourself. You're like really demanding so much from yourself, because look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcanas. So like, just imagine, like, right, there are 4 major projects that you want to do in 1 month. So this is really a biggie. So I guess you know, everybody needs some kind of distraction from time to time, so it is kind of like good to have somebody in our lives. But if distraction is alcohol or a person that is not good for us, or we want to kill the pain but with our actions we just invite deeper and deeper pain, that's not a good distraction. So that's all I'm saying. So let me just check actually a few cards. So first of all, I want to see why there is such a wound right in the heart area, right in the core. So let's see what is this all about. And this card jumped, wants to talk. Some of you, it was a talk about marriage, or somebody is involved with somebody. The Prison card definitely talks about, and it's kind of interesting because the demon is usually reflected with chains. So somebody doesn't want to commit, or you have issues within your own marriage. It looks like there is a person who put their finger in the otherwise harmonious thing. Or guys, can it really look like that? And I'm sorry to say that you're the third party who interfered. And this is not to blame you. Sometimes the third party is completely unknowing third party, where the person forgets to tell them, like the Sea King could, reverse could forget to tell them. And maybe somebody brutally told you that and just like got you to the state of anxiety and frenzy and kind of like being grossed out with the situation. And hence there is like this reevaluation about your own morals versus somebody else's morals, or if it is not you, kind of like you're really shocked. Because one thing about air signs is that they're highly moral, not necessarily religious. So to me, the two things are very different. And morality is a much higher standard to me, because it comes from the sense of, it comes from the golden rule. You don't want to do to anybody things that you don't want to be done to yourself, right? So let's see this good kitty. Wow, look at this. We have fortune reversed, death, and this could be you guys, especially the ladies. The good kitty also symbolizes Scorpio, to be to kind of give you the signs. I see Capricorn clearly, I see Leo and Scorpio clearly, and we had Gemini as well in the middle. So this is telling me like here there was something that ended, and something that you feel was very unfortunate. So it's kind of really interesting that you have a death and that you have basically the judgment, which kind of belongs to Scorpio, because if you don't have somebody who is a Scorpio, there is definitely that resurrection energy where, you know, okay, something has to die for something else to be born. And I think you need to claim yourself in this process. Something happened that you're not really proud about yourself, and you know what, well, I have to give you credit for that. It takes lots of guts and lots of balls to admit that. Most people just go through life just simply pointing fingers, blaming others, and only seeing forward. How about, you know, when they say when you point finger at somebody, like 3 others are looking back at you, and to look back and say, okay, this is like what is staring me in my own face, my own things. It's a biggie. That means you're really able to grow as a person. So let's see that demon cat that I see over there. Okay guys, some of you might going through something legal. The priest is basically a lawyer in a situation, something, oh my gosh, you have a both priest and a doctor and despair. But again, this is the codependency card, and it's always a card that talks about huge imbalance. And for you, it's like, ooh, you thrive on balance. You're actually never in balance, and that's, you're always trying to get that balance. They're trying to kind of like have comfortable and harmonious environments. So it looks like this month you really will get there, and actually you will get there through imbalance. You will get there by saying, okay, if I have to ruffle the feathers and start anything legally that I need to start, if this is going to be anxiety prone, which will be, you're going to look for help. And this is kind of like looking for things on so many different levels, right? This is talking about also possibility of, this can talk about somebody's marriage. It can be yours, it could be somebody else's. This could be involved with somebody who is married. And despair, this is how we feel when we are codependent. This is how we feel because you start feeling so lonely, so isolated, because these people almost like latch onto our sense of any emptiness that we have. They sort of like magnify it. So some of you will be really looking out possibly for a spiritual leader, and this also could be pretty much your tarot reader, somebody who can guide you, even though priest is sort of organized and tarot is sort of like individual. If you guys get really sad to the point, because I'm seeing melancholy, and for some of you this melancholy will go all the way to despair. I really don't like that he's holding a gun to his head, but also people who hold onto a chair while holding the gun to their head are not necessarily people who really want to shoot themselves. They just like simply understanding that situation is actually very, very critical. So Libra, this is really not a good reading. I'm sorry to say that, but like I'm not one of those readers who's just going to scrap it and just give you something sugary. You're going through a huge change. It is a process, and if means anything, majority of the signs are going through a big change. There were many majors happening in most of the readings so far. So don't just think it is you, because anybody you see around probably are like they're going through their own cross to bear, as we say it. And make sure that you're nurturing yourself and giving yourself self-love, that you open yourself up to something gentle, something easygoing, something friendly, something without much expectation. And that is going to be distraction for you, that is going to help you kind of ground yourself and start getting out of the situation that seems to be very complex. I'm actually not really worried about you, because you are sort of like self-correcting, and you're kind of like building your own core, that emptiness that I said that somebody may be open, you are kind of actually working on rebuilding, and that is a really, really biggie. So guys, would like to see your comments, but also, as I said, this is just a general reading. For your own personal reading, this could be way different. So just contact me, and don't fret over this. If this scares you, contact me. We can do your own reading and we can go from there. So thank you so much, and I would really appreciate if you stayed this long with me, that you're going to either give me a thumbs up, like, or even dislike the video if you really didn't like it. But please just make sure that you are doing this at the end of the March if you're disliking, because you really don't know what things will happen, and then we can kind of come back and review. So thank you so much, Libra, for being with me, and if you haven't, please do subscribe, so that way you get notification when I am online live. Thanks everybody, love you, have a great March.